What's going on, guys? Your boy Maze here. We're back with another video, and in today's video guys, me going over my overall thoughts on the Attack on Titan collaboration rerun and why I think they definitely fumbled the bag a little bit with this collaboration in terms of the events and also a little bit in the designs of the brand new characters. So pretty much in this video we're just gonna kind of be rambling, talking about the Attack on Titan collab. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely make sure to like and subscribe as per usual, and with that out of the way, man, let's hop in. Let's actually cover the Attack on Titan collab events and characters. So the reason why I think the Attack on Titan collab wasn't really the greatest this time around was because they didn't really, it feels like they didn't really put too much effort in terms of the events. And then also when we talk about the actual character designs, we'll kind of talk about their kits and all of that. So yeah, first thing that they did give was a free Levi, so this was different, and we'll definitely take this. And Levi of the original three, in my opinion, was probably one of the better characters to actually get. So at least at the very least, you know, people getting that is pretty nice. And then obviously they did give out, what was it, a total of 5 multis for free. We still are not done the last like 2 multis, I think, but we have gotten, I think, at least like 3 free multis total at this point, as at the time of recording this video. So yeah, I mean, it's been pretty nice, you know. In terms of the rewards itself, I think the rewards are definitely fine, at least for the special missions and for the login, right? The main thing that I think is the problem though with the AOT collab is they didn't do anything new, right? So if you look at like the Titan elimination event, this is the exact same event we had back in the day. It was literally just a farming event, right? People would farm this stage right here. They would do this stage mainly because it was an awakening stone farm. But if you actually look at it, this farm right now is actually just a worse farm than just a boss battle stage grind farm, because that farm will just be a lot better. And the difference is that you only get 1 box drop when actually clearing for this fight. So you only get like 1 awakening stone for 9 stamina, when you could get like, you know, multiple awakening stones from salvaging the gear when you do like a half stamina boss battle stage. So, you know, in terms of incentivizing people to like farm this stage, they didn't really do that. So this event right here, the exact same as it was when it initially came out, and they didn't really do anything to spice it up, especially since it's been like at this point 3 years. They definitely could have added a little bit extra, at least on the drop table, for this to actually incentivize people to maybe use their stamina on this. So that's like the one thing right there. Titan Conquest, I think, has been pretty fun. The thing is with Titan Conquest, right, is that they did change the mechanics since the original time it was around, but the difference is that it's just a, you know, a little bit too easy, I think. I mean, maybe this is just my experience and the characters I've been using, but if you guys saw my guide on how to actually clear the Titan Conquest, that team that I have set up actually does clear this fight a little bit too quick, man. I think I'm clearing in like 1 to 2 turns, which I don't think is necessarily a problem, because obviously the whales are gonna eventually have the chance to do that, and I think the people that have the correct setup should be able to do like 1 to 2 turn clears on Conquest. But I definitely think that they maybe should have had it like a hell difficulty, or like a, you know, a extreme, like a, I don't know, like a, you know, a challenge difficulty, something like that, to where, like, you know, once you beat all 3 of these difficulties, you do like a challenge difficulty, and it's like a super hard variant that maybe gets you some other rewards, right? They could have definitely did something like that. And then obviously in terms of the actual events that are new, we didn't get any new events, right? We didn't get a single new event. I mean, the Hawk Awesome Treasure Chest event, this is part of it, but it's not like an Attack on Titan related event, right? We did get a bingo that I think this is new. I don't remember us having a bingo last time, so I will say I think this is definitely a new thing, but again, it's a bingo, right? We've had bingos before in the past, and I don't think that's something we can credit them on. So in terms of the events, honestly, I don't think they really did too well. And another thing too, the world quest is literally the same as the original story. You know, I've already done it myself, but the story is literally the same as the original story, and they didn't change anything. They didn't add no final season, you know, story beats. They didn't add any final season events, right? It's literally just the original Attack on Titan collaboration events that we got, and just, you know, just made for 2023 pretty much. That's all they really did. Moving on though, guys, in terms of the characters here, I want to kind of get this off from the jump. The characters are not bad characters, okay? Let me just say that right now, because I know a lot of people have been saying that the Eren and the Levi are just really bad, and they're not bad characters. The characters are good. The main problem is that they don't compete in the meta that they released in. So obviously, you know, people have the argument of like, oh, Echidna, you know, Reinhardt, that was really good because they were both meta and they have a lot of longevity, mainly the Echidna side of things, and even like Demon Lord Rimuru. The reason why those characters have such longevity is because of how much support that type of team gets. When you look at human and giant team for Eren, what support does that team get? they don't get support at the moment, at least, you know, from what we've had released. Whereas when Echidna came out, we had Ram, Echidna, which was already, what, 40% basic stats, and then once Nanashi got his Holy Relic, they got, what, 50% basic stats with just Echidna and Nanashi backline alone. So you can see that, like, you know, over time, like, Unknown team has become kind of a stat heavy team, and that's why that team aged so well, especially with the Echidna having like the infect and all of that. So like her kit was really good for her time, and she still aged to now because of how strong Unknown team is with stat buildup. The thing is with Eren and Levi is that we don't have a character that really buffs them in that kind of manner. Like, we don't have like a stat buffer for humans really. We have attack related stats 12%, but that's not going to do anything against the Demon King, you know what I mean? Like, I think, you know, the problem that I have right now with the characters is that they released in a meta where they weren't really made for the main, you know, culprit of the meta right now. We know Demon King is the top of the game right now, and unfortunately Eren and Levi just really can't compete as they should. You know, Levi more so can compete than Eren, but I would say, you know, overall they're probably just losing most of the time to Demon Team regardless, right? So yeah, had to get that out of the way. But I think Eren and Levi are fine characters, so I hope you guys understand that. It's just the problem is that they're fighting the Demon King and they can't win. Eren was definitely made for tier Lost Vein when that was the meta, so maybe they made Eren's kit in, you know, like kind of around the time that like Transcendent Bond and LR Lost Vein came out with the tier, you know, when that was like the main, like, you know meta at the time. That definitely could have been what it was, right? But then obviously AOT releasing now after the Demon King, you know, it's really hard to say. But yeah, no, like the characters, I think the new characters are fine, right? I think the new characters are fine. They're obviously not as broken as we expect them to be, and you know, I guess that could be a fault for the collab, right? I guess that definitely could, but I don't think the characters are necessarily the problem. I think the original characters, I think, were the main problem of this collab. The new characters are fine, but if we look at the original characters and what they got for buffs, they really didn't get any buffs, right? If we actually look at those characters, those were the ones that I think really needed the attention that, you know, that they deserved. I mean, if we look at Mikasa here, Mikasa got relegated to being a PvE backline character because, you know, I guess the devs were just like, hey, you know, we'll just give this relic to Mikasa, and she's not even the free unit, by the way. She's not even the free character, so it's not like, okay, you know, maybe I could run Mikasa in the future in the backline because, you know, I got her for free from the collab. We didn't get her for free, right? So, you know, only people that summoned get Mikasa, and she's only able to buff humans like this in PvE content and not even demonic beast battles. So, automatically you're only really going to be using Mikasa in the future on like final boss and maybe like guild boss, maybe if there's like a human nuke strat, right? And then going to like Levi, I think Levi was done a little bit better because he already had like a really good passive. So, you know, I get that they didn't you know, add anything else to the passive because he had a, you know, when they gave him the relic, this is a really good relic, you know, 20% crit damage for every orb in the hero's ultimate move gauge. So I think Levi less so than like the other characters you know, needed extra stuff. I think he got, like, he was done justice, I would say. It's just mainly Mikasa where, you know, she got relegated to being a PvE character when people were really excited for her being a good PvP character, because they actually did, you know, change a little bit in her passive here. They made it limit 5 times and they doubled the amount of all stats you get so that it's quicker to build up, right? So that's really good. So this is a total of what, 24% all stats for Mikasa, which I think is a very nice, you know, for build up, right? So she's really good. Or no, it might be 30 actually. No, is it 30? Yeah, I think it is 30 actually. So no, 30. I'm you know, I can't even do math, you see? So Mikasa would have got 30 all stats in PvP, imagine, right? So I mean, she can still do that. It's just her relic is kind of useless. And then going to Titan Eren, okay, I can understand why Eren was shafted heavily because they wanted to, you know, showcase the new one and, you know, promote the new one, but they didn't do anything with Eren. They literally did nothing. They upgraded his ultimate effect to give him more stats, and that was it. And then on his transformation, they gave him the hero is immune to ultimate move disable and level 4 blackout effects. Like, he's gonna tank a Demon King ultimate. He's not gonna tank a Demon King ultimate, right? Like, I don't know, man. The way they went about the characters with the Attack on Titan collab, at least for the buffs, I don't think they did them well. I think they definitely could have did other things to improve these characters, and I don't necessarily think that, you know, the main characters were the problem, because the new characters that came out, they're fine. Eren and Levi are good characters. It's just the original characters that I think got the worst treatment, honestly. And if you were like a Mikasa fan going into the collab for the rerun, you're like, okay, I'm really excited to see how Mikasa's gonna do. She's not even good of a character, especially since we didn't get a new Mikasa. We only got a new Levi and Eren, right? So I don't know, man. I think the original characters definitely got shafted. The newer characters are okay for its time, and possibly in the future they might, you know, be getting some relevance anyway when, you know, Chaos Arthur releases in November, or, you know, whatever other human buffer that releases in the near future, right? So there's definitely potential for these characters, and even Aaron for like Giant team eventually in the future. Whatever Giant comes out in the future, he's gonna benefit alongside that Giant character, so we'll have to see, right? So it's not a thing of like, oh, these characters, because they just came out now and they're really bad in the meta right now, that I would say these are bad characters, because in the future they could do well, you know. We just don't know. So I can definitely understand where people are coming from, where the characters do suck right now, and I get that, but you know, it's hard to compete with the Demon King when that team has been built up this past year. We had Esterosa released last year on what, the 2.5 Annie, and then for the 3.5 Annie we got Demon King, and then Melly was end of year last year, right? So yeah, guys, that's pretty much like my thoughts overall on the collab. I think the events were not really the greatest, and I think the characters, at least the new characters, were fine. The older characters were definitely not done justice. I think they should have gotten a little bit more buffs for their kits and all that. I don't really think they got too much, and you know, overall I think the collab wasn't the greatest. If you guys watched the podcast where me and the guys talked about it, I'll link the podcast in the description if you guys just want to listen to like that part specifically. But we talked about the Attack on Titan collab, and my rating at the end was a 6.5 out of 10. And you know, that's probably the best rating I could give it, because you know, they definitely did justice with just the new characters, and that's all they did. You know, the new characters were done well, but the old characters were really done bad, and there's no new events. So if you're like an Attack on Titan fan coming to this collab and you're like, yo, I'm so excited to play with the Attack on Titan characters and play the new events, there isn't really any new events. It's just, you know, old events in the game, right? So yeah, man, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, though. What are your guys' thoughts on the Attack on Titan collab? I know a lot of people were kind of disappointed, and I'm kind of in that same, you know, I'm in that same boat for sure. I just think a little bit too much hate has gone towards the new characters, I will say. Not to be that guy to defend them or anything, but I'm telling you guys the way it is, man. It's just Demon King is too prevalent of a character, and it's just too hard to deal with them, especially with the release of 2 new characters, right? They're obviously not going to be doing, you know, that much, at least in my opinion. So yeah, man, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. That's gonna be it, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video, man. Peace out and have a great rest of your day, guys.